What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today we're going to be doing an updated version of a video that I made several years back, and this is looking at the evolution of time to kill in the Call of Duty franchise since Call of Duty 4. Now this is something that a lot of people have been requesting from me because they want to see how the recent years of Call of Duty stack up with the older years that I've already covered. And more specifically, a lot of people have been wondering what the actual experience time to kill is like in Vanguard. Not the base time to kill with the base version of the gun with no damage attachments added on it, but what is the actual time to kill potential in Vanguard once you start including those attachments. Now, before we start getting into the numbers, I just wanted to point out that the time to kill values I'm sharing in today's video are averages for assault rifles, SMGs, and LMGs for each of the Call of Duty games. And the reason that I focused on just these three weapon types is they are the most commonly used weapon types, and they also tend to give the best representation of what you actually experience in the game. The moment you start mixing in like pistols and shotguns and marksman rifles, for instance, this can really heavily skew these numbers in ways that don't actually represent the experience time to kill in the games. Additionally, I did my best to separate the base time to kill of the guns with no attachments or no special perks or anything that improve your time to kill from the elements that can change our time to kill, like stopping power in the earlier Call of Duty games, and in the case of Vanguard, we now have a bunch of attachments that significantly alter our time to kill potential, so I also separated those values from the base values of the guns. And let's actually start this off with those Vanguard values, since that is the current Call of Duty game, and a lot of people are curious as to what the difference is in our average time to kill, both with or without attachments. So if we're just looking at the base guns with 0 attachments equipped, the averages for all of the assault rifles, LMGs, and SMGs in close range situations, so our maximum damage range, this is 239 milliseconds. And that's surprisingly fairly slow for the Call of Duty franchise. It actually turns out the only Call of Duty games that have a slower base time to kill compared to Vanguard's base time to kill are Cold War as well as Black Ops 4. Every other Call of Duty game has a faster close range time to kill average compared to Vanguard's base weapons. However, I did find it quite interesting that when we look at longer ranges, so the minimum damage range for our SMGs, assault rifles, and LMGs, Vanguard tends to fall a little bit more on the average side for the Call of Duty franchise. So we really don't see as harsh of a range penalty, comparatively speaking, with other Call of Duty games when it comes to the base Vanguard weapons. It's quite slow up close, but at a distance, it maintains a decent time to kill. And let's now compare that to Vanguard's potential time to kill. And when it came to calculating these values, what I did is I just selected the best single attachment for improving our time to kill value for every one of the SMGs, ARs, and assault rifles, and then I found the averages for that. In some of the cases, you could technically get an even faster time to kill if you also stack the recoil booster, which slightly boosts our rate of fire, for instance. But that would overcomplicate things far too much. I just picked the best single attachment to improve our time to kill potential for each of those guns. And taking a look at it side by side compared to the base version of Vanguard guns, for our maximum damage range, so our close range situations, the average time to kill for the base guns is 239 milliseconds, and with that best attachment, it's 174 milliseconds. So on average, we're killing about 27% faster by putting that one single attachment on our guns. Whereas at longer ranges with the base guns, our time to kill average is 330 milliseconds, and with our best attachment, it is now 262 milliseconds on average, which is about 21% faster. So there is definitely a very noticeable discrepancy in our time to kill potential in Vanguard, depending on whether or not we're using an attachment, which is something we're not used to with many of the previous Call of Duty games. With every Call of Duty game since Modern Warfare 2, we haven't really had a method to significantly improve our time to kill potential, whether that be through a perk or various attachments. And now that we have the Vanguard specific comparison covered, let's mix this in with the rest of the Call of Duty games and show you guys the final graphs and the final values here. The first chart I'm going to share with you guys is for our average close range time to kill for assault rifles, SMGs, and LMGs. And I've just got it in chronological order here. Keep in mind the green bars, these are with stopping power for the older Call of Duty games. And in the case of Vanguard, this is with that one single attachment that helps us the most with our time to kill for each of the guns. For all of the other bars, the blue ones, these are the base guns with no attachments and no special perks equipped. And as you can see, like I said earlier, the base time to kill for Vanguard is actually quite slow compared to the rest of the franchise. It's only faster than Black Ops 4 and Cold War, whereas our potential time to kill in Vanguard, that falls kind of in the middle. It's right around average for our time to kill potential, maybe a little bit on the faster side, at least for recent Call of Duty games, since like Advanced Warfare, for instance. But even this potential time to kill is still quite noticeably slower than a lot of the old school Call of Duty games. But next, I wanted to have a look at the chart for our long-range time to kill, so in the minimum damage range. And we see fairly similar trends, although like I mentioned earlier, the base Vanguard time to kill potential is actually on the faster side for recent Call of Duty games. Since about Black Ops 3, it's the fastest out of all of them, although it's almost identical to Modern Warfare 2019. So that's something interesting that I found. At long range, we actually kill quite fast in Vanguard, even without attachments, and when you throw those attachments in there and look at our Vanguard potential, this is quite noticeably faster than every Call of Duty game since Modern Warfare 3. And this is where I should also point out that the more modern Call of Duty games over the past, 6 or 7 years, on average, our time to kill potential in these games is actually quite a bit slower than the older Call of Duty games, like from COD 4 to Modern Warfare 3. Especially when you're factoring in stopping power from those really early Call of Duty games. And this is very interesting to see because for many people, their perception of the time to kill in Vanguard is that it's the fastest we've ever seen in a Call of Duty game, especially once you start factoring in those best attachments. But in reality, if we're just looking at these statistics on paper, Vanguard really isn't even close to being the fastest killing Call of Duty game. So why does it feel that way for many players? Well, I did want to share my thoughts on this, keeping in mind from here on out we're going outside of the theoretical time to kill potentials, and I just wanted to talk about why it may feel so fast in Vanguard compared to a lot of the older Call of Duty games where we were technically killing faster. I think this comes down to a small handful of reasons. The first of which is quite simply, we're on dedicated servers now, whereas in the earlier days where we had player hosts, we would see much larger variation in our connection quality. And I'm not trying to say the connection was always bad in the early days of COD before dedicated servers, but it was a large complaint. The tick rate values were significantly lower with player hosts, whereas they're much higher with dedicated servers. And on average, at least, we should be seeing generally better connection stability and quality on these dedicated servers compared to the old player-hosted days. So I think at least to some degree that makes the time to kill feel a little bit faster in Vanguard compared to the good old days. Additionally, something I've noticed with a lot of the newer Call of Duty games is it seems like we've been seeing less and less recoil, and our recoil patterns are now far more predictable than they used to be. And when we also combine that with the fact that our aim assist has been getting stronger and stronger, fewer people are missing shots these days compared to the older days of COD. I actually feel like this is one of the bigger factors that leads to the faster feeling time to kill, even though on paper, it's actually not faster than the older days. And then finally, this perception of the extremely fast time to kill in Vanguard compared to old Call of Duty games, I think that comes down to people simply forgetting how fast the time to kill used to be in the older days of Call of Duty. Like you saw in the graphs earlier, the general time to kill on average has been increasing over the past decade. And with that slow incremental increase over time, I think when people look back to the early days, they just forget the fact that in COD 4, for instance, with stopping power, we had an AK-47 that would get a 2-shot kill with a 700 round per minute fire rate. Or in Modern Warfare 2, we had the UMP with a 666 round per minute fire rate that could also get a 2-shot kill. Both of these yield time to kill values of less than 100 milliseconds, which is significantly faster than even like the BAR or the new Whitley with 50 BMG. Those ones can get a 2-shot kill, but they have a significantly lower fire rate. So I think part of it is people just forget how ridiculous the time to kill was way back in the early days of COD. And with that, I think this is a good place to leave this video, and this is where I want to hear from you guys in the comment section down below. What do you think of the results that I found here? Were you surprised to see that Vanguard is actually a little bit on the slow side when you compare it to the earlier Call of Duty games like COD 4 or Modern Warfare 2? And also, what is your preferred time to kill value or general range of time to kill that you'd like to see Call of Duty aim for in the future? Maybe for the next Call of Duty game, for instance. What kind of time to kill would you like to see? If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.